They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 20. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my actions. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we can all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback back around like a curse. Serum Hunter's word, ring my head like said you in his body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. Devils design 5 for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums. Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback.
Clap it up. Alright, welcome to another episode of the Conflict Zone. Shama Elatan Basham, to the brothers, yeah. Habashim Rashabakata to the brothers, Yahawashama Island and Basham Rasha to the sisters. Welcome to another episode of the Conflict Zone. Welcome to our viewers, YouTube, Facebook. If I can get on. TikTok. I want to go live. Put my live. Can I put not so again? All right. We are on. Welcome to our TikTok viewers. All right. So topic this evening now: wrestling against evil rulers. Because that's what we are doing as a people. We're not wrestling against flesh and blood, wrestling against principalities and so on and so forth. And draw that scripture. Walk with that scripture. Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Alright, when I read like the Bible dictionary, it tells you that principalities is Hebrew word is found on the Hebrew word is found only in Jeremiah 13 and 18. 6 times the New Testament uses the word in English Bible to refer to powerful angels and demons. Alright. But when I Google the word principalities, it tells you that principalities in the Bible refer to spiritual authorities, primarily demonic forces that oppose God through the term, though the term could also apply to benevolent spiritual beings. But the problem with this statement is that now there is nothing that opposes God. Everything is in harmony. It's Christianity create the devil and the way we know it, and the way we were taught about the devil. Christianity create that. There is no devil in that way. There's no devil. What's the word? There's no devil breakdown in the way Christianity put the devil as if the devil is an opposing force to God. No such thing. The devil in the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of is the white man of the. But then again, he's the one who gave us Christianity, so he took himself out of that devilish statement in the scriptures and put himself as Christ in the scriptures. So that's why you have it the way you have it. Where devil is some evil force. opposes God. Devil is an evil forces, but him can't stay down as some oppose God. He oppose God people, and he kill whole heap of God people. Alright, but what are we looking at today now? We're going to look at some of these black inventors and black towns who got the wrong end of history. Mary Ellen Pleasant, the Underground Railroad lady. Who's ever can find she was a rich black woman who had to hide her wealth and to use her wealth to fight against the slave trade, financing the Underground Railroad and so on. This, yeah. Let's jump into this one.
Be a servant for wealthy whites, but secretly she was a millionaire fighting slavery. Now nobody knows her name. She pretended to be a servant for wealthy whites, but secretly she was a millionaire fighting slavery. Now nobody knows her name. She was born in the early 1800s and joined the Underground Railroad in her 20s to escape slavery. She made it to California with $15,000 sewn into her dress, but she worked as a cook and maid not because she had to, but to study how the rich made their money.
Alright, so listen up. She hid $15,000 in her, sew it in her clothes, and made it to somewhere else with it, undetected.
Meanwhile, she was investing in real estate.
Imagine $15,000 back then, like $1 million, US. Now 15,000 US back then was a whole lot of money.
State, laundries, restaurants, and even railroads. She built a fortune quietly, becoming one of the first black millionaires. But she used the money and power for good. She gave $30,000 to fund John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry, a move so bold she signed the note MEP, and they never figured out it was her.
Alright, so you see, she could at that time finance uprising and things. So, which is why they watch all the rich blacks them now. They watch them like a hawk. They don't want them to be financing anything against them. So they watch them. I mean, look at Kanye. Kanye have from $700 million disappear overnight. Awesome? Or 700 million. So what money?
After the Civil War, she
disappear from your bank account. Or locked away and can't access it.
sued to desegregate San Francisco streetcars and won nearly a century before Rosa Parks. But this was too much power for a black woman. Newspapers started calling her Mammy Pleasant. They called her a voodoo queen, believing that a
Mammy Pleasant. I think we hear that name already now. History. Mammy Pleasant. That's a nickname they gave her. History gave her that.
black woman couldn't be successful without casting spells. After they destroyed her name, she died nearly penniless. But she was the first black woman to be a self-made millionaire. Her name was Mary Ellen Pleasant, and her legacy was buried under lies. But we know the truth.
Mary Ellen Pleasant was a rich black woman during slavery. She worked as a slave, but her role working amongst the rich whites was just to learn from them how they made their money. So they never know that she could have read. I never know that she had money. And and then she would have made good her escape from them and finance many what I call it, a really uprising, you know. But many freedom for our other enslaved brothers. So we have enjoying the underground railroad, which means that you would have financed it. Yeah.
Tended to be a servant for wealthy whites, but secretly she was a millionaire fighting slavery. Now,
She pretended to be a servant of wealthy whites, but she was a millionaire fighting slavery.
nobody knows her name. She was born in the early 1800s and joined the Underground Railroad in her 20s to escape slavery. She made it to California with $15,000 sewn into her dress, but she worked as a cook and maid not because she had to, but to study how the rich made their money. Meanwhile, she was investing in real estate, laundries, restaurants, and even railroads.
So I suppose this was after she joined the Underground Railroad and become free, and she start as a free person now. She start investing them whole part in there. Whether they talk about restaurants and railroads and so on, and making money.
She built a fortune quietly, becoming one of the first black millionaires. But she used the money and power for good.
So back then she became a millionaire. Just imagine having $1 million during that time. Man. But when they found out what she was doing, what happened? They came against her, she died penniless. So, this is what we talk about today. You're trying to be in business as a black man today. I mean, you should help your brothers. That's what the Most High really bless you that with money so that you can help the less fortunate. I mean, you have to find ways in helping them. But the system don't want you to do that. So you find a lot of our rich blacks, they might go to Africa and places like that to invest their money. All right. Well, not really invest, to do humanitarian work. They don't see them doing it in America. Oprah build school in Africa. They can't build a school in America. And we have other rich blacks that do things in Africa. Well, they don't do it in America. Now, they are targeting them. So do things like that, then they probably lose their wealth. They don't want to lose their wealth. So they don't do it. But we hearing the truth. I mean, I think we are quite familiar with what we are doing and how much we are here to do. And by what we are doing, I'm talking about waking up our people. I think they want to see us waking up our people. They don't want to see that. What they want to see is, be like the others. Leave them. Let them die of themselves. They can't do that. That's not what the Most High tell us to do. So feed these flocks. He wants us to feed his flock. So we have to do things like that, feed his flock. Do what we can do to help our brothers and sisters, or Israelite brothers and sisters. Nobody knows. Supposed to tell me about, we are all of one race, and that's the human race. There's It's only black people talk like that. Only black people speak like that. Next move. Alright, the next one now we have this brother. This brother here who invented the automatic door closer for the elevator. That's the proper way to put it.
Elevator shafts had to be closed manually, and they were often left open by hasty passengers. A system that led to frequent accidents and even fatalities when people forgot. This inspired Miles to invent a mechanical elevator door that could automatically open and close. His invention made riding an elevator dramatically safer and helped lay the foundation for the cloud-piercing buildings and skyscrapers we know today. Alexander Miles was born on May 18, 1838 in Circleville, Ohio.
So what they say now, without this man's invention, you wouldn't have them extra tall buildings. Because, I mean, elevators weren't safe enough to go that high because people used to fall out of the elevator. The door closer was a problem. And then he invented that, you know, when you step in the elevator, the door just automatically closes. Right, before it move off, that is set up.
As a child, he would take apart clocks and farm tools. His small hands tinkered with the gears and springs. As an adult, he was a self-taught mechanic and entrepreneur. He moved to Duluth, Minnesota in the 1870s, where he worked as a barber. Elevators allowed cities to grow upward with speed and efficiency, but elevators remained death traps. Miles' barbershop was located inside the lobby of a hotel and was positioned so that he had a bird's eye view of the elevator. Miles heard news of people accidentally falling to their death down the shaft. And he himself witnessed a mother drop her groceries down the abyss after forgetting to close the shaft doors. And on numerous occasions, even hotel employees would experience some near-tragic incidents. Miles became very concerned with the dangerous risks of taking an elevator and started brainstorming on how he could make them safer. Then came the morning his own daughter almost tumbled down the shaft. This was the final straw. That night, Alexander Miles spread blueprints across his kitchen table, sketching a system of levers, pulleys, and weighted belts that could make doors close themselves. By 1887, he submitted a patent for his automatic door, an innovation that transformed elevators forever. It operated by attaching a flexible belt to the elevator cage, which touched drums positioned along the elevator shaft, directly above and below the floors. His invention allowed elevator shaft doors to operate at the correct times through a series of automated levers and rollers. This was a game changer for America's machine-driven society. The moment elevators became safe and reliable, architects began stacking floors like ambitions, transforming flat cityscapes into soaring metropolises. This vertical revolution changed how we worked in office towers, lived in high-rise apartment buildings, and shopped in multi-level department stores, making elevators and Alexander Miles the unsung heroes of urbanization. Miles and his family would eventually move to Seattle, Washington, where he was considered the wealthiest black person in the Pacific Northwest area, largely due to income from his invention. Today, the influence of his patent is present in modern designs for elevator systems, in which automatic doors are a standard feature, and in 2007, Miles was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame.
Please drop some.
All right, so he now was one of the few who managed to make the money out of inventions. Probably became one of those who married the Empress and daughter too. Who knows? But the point is, these inventions, we never know about them. We're not taught about these things. And it is deliberate, right? And we're getting up to that. You want to see why it's deliberate. I mean, look at what Trump is doing in today's now, removing all the landmark that would remind you about slavery and the struggles of blacks. So, sorry, you want a generation of whites coming up now who don't know anything about the struggles that black people go through and have no empathy. Just like when Charlie Kirk talk about like empathy. Yeah, man. Because with empathy, the evil things that you would need to do to the blacks in order for you to make money, you're not going to do it. Because you're going to feel sorry for them. So they are removing all them landmarks and all them things. Yeah, because that's the only way they can make money, you know. Is after all what. Right. The only way they make money is with our power backs. Right, next one. Quite a few of them here, so I'm gonna go to the third one now. Now this one is about redlining. I mean, I think we can find a video with Charlie Kirk talking about blacks should lift themselves up and all that. Where would I find that? YouTube. On YouTube. Alright. I'm going to racist playbook. How we build his brand. Let's still look at us. Come on, come on, come on. There's a video with Charlie Kirk saying that blacks should lift themselves up. This one is a 2 year answer for this one. one where so reparations is racist. Mm. One is it. You go on a plane. Yeah, I should have everything bother to give him any year time from management. You know, just because our people. So I can't believe so much of our people actually goes for his narrative. It can't be true. But the thing is, and what a lot of blacks is trying to get into white people, and they say, hey, yeah, somebody kill your let's call him a civil rights activist. Somebody kill your civil rights activist, but you people have been killing our civil rights activists for quite a while now. So many of our civil rights activists, they the whites kill. And guess who killed Charlie Kirk? Them same a white person. So I mean, if you are killing your own white people, what should we do? So, and you have white people losing their jobs for saying Charlie get what he deserve. I suppose when them say that though, they're actually saying, actually meaning that there was a speech you make that you should have. I think you should have, a couple gun killings so that to protect our Second Amendment rights. And guess what? Him become one killed by gun who was advocating for. He wasn't advocating for gun rights, Backside, he was advocating for gun killing. Say, yeah, man, when you have killing by gun, that will protect our Second Amendment rights. So that means now we need to walk with the gun to protect ourselves. Uh, 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 uh. So, all these that I'm seeing is this is what I'm talking about. Black privilege. This is what I'm talking. All right, yeah, can't play that one. He is 31 at that. Obviously, in the read what used to go on in the Reconstruction times.
Of course we pander to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job.
So blacks come into colleges with lower test scores. That's not true enough. The state had forced the institutions in the time of integration. After them done destroy the black schools and we have a few token black colleges left, then called HBCUs, right? But they wanted integration. So what they had to do was reserve space for blacks. So if the space is reserved, like say for instance you reserve 5 space, you're gonna choose the 5 best black applicants that you have. It might their scores might not be as high as the other people, but because the federal government wanted the integration so that the whole country can look good, and also they also knew that whites would not accept these blacks in their schools, but the government was pushing for that integration. So the scores are not necessarily as high as, but it still meet the accepting standard. Because, all right, take for instance, out here, you need 5 CXC to attend colleges. But suppose all the people are applying have 9 CXCs. You with 5 CXC, even though you meet the requirement, you're not going to get in, you know, right? So they only have a certain amount of spot. So they might have say 30 spot. So you're going to take the 30 best students. But out of the 30 now, the government said you have to reserve 5 of that for this ethnic group of people. So the entry requirement might be 5 CXC, everybody have 9, but the 5, out of the 5 now, they might not have the 9 either, because they are coming from schools where getting those 9 subjects ain't easy because of what you have to battle with just to get your qualifications up. But you still qualify to enter the university.
Have your entire life obliterated if you say something racist. And yet we have to hear about how racist we are. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
Here, there. From we come out of slavery, we have been taking responsibility for our own actions. In Jamaica here, we did until the CIA come in here and start teaching our young men how to kill each other. Yeah? And the place just start flood with guns. Our government locally have been pushing for them to have some level of gun control, just like they want us to control, you know, ganja going into the US. Well, that's the main thing illegal that live here. Our government been saying, how about you controlling those guns? Because the two of them really go hand in hand, you know. Boy, we can't touch that, you know, blah, 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 blah. So the guns leave uncontrolled. And then you also know blacks won't take responsibility for their action. How about whites taking responsibility for their actions? Isn't that more like what the world would need? Yeah. You not taking responsibility for your action.
Of course we pandered to blacks. They're in every TV commercial.
Right, so that's one aspect of what we're looking at. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh.
Hey, Shalom, Adawan, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shabbat Rakatah. Everything Tawab.
So far, so good.
Come on, concert. Let's get
You
into
got
it.
anything on Charlie Kirk?
So, like, say that again, sir?
No, I was asking if you have anything on Charlie Kirk.
Oh, let's get into it.
You got it? You have something you want to share?
Not at the moment, but I definitely will be able to bounce off of your you know, your talking points. So let me catch your rhythm, sir.
Okay. All right, we're looking at redlining now.
Okay.
You're quite familiar with redlining, right?
All
right, so from someone who's lived there, what you understand redlining to be? We only read about, well, it's not only we read about it now, because there were some communities in Jamaica that the ordinary black man was redlined from, but they didn't name it redlining, and they just couldn't afford to go in those communities.
well, if I could, I'd want,
Yeah.
you know, redlining. I'm sitting here because I know exactly what it is, and I'm sitting here thinking, it's them not wanting us to be in certain areas. It's them not wanting us to, purchase homes in certain communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So man, they offer programs, right? Like they offer down payments. Certain banks may have promotions where they'll give you $5,000, $10,000, if to go towards a down payment on your house, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you go to them and you say, "Oh, okay, um, let me submit all the paperwork that you need um, to show that I'm qualified for this promotion, to get this $10,000." And
Mm-hmm.
you submit all your paperwork, your documents, and all your ducks are lined in a row. And they say, "Okay, you qualify." But then when they find out, they say, "Oh, where's the house that you got your eye on? What house that you want to move into?" And when you show them that, and when you tell them that it's if it's in a certain community, they'll say, "Oh, the promotion um, is not for um, is not for properties in that particular community."
Community.
They only 9 times out of 10 they only offer certain promotions for certain minority communities. They want you to they want to keep you in a certain area. They're not gonna give you money to move into their community. No,
On
you got to come up with that on your own.
their own.
And even if you do come up with it on your own, they still gonna give you a hard time. Okay,
Mm.
they gonna make you submit all type of what they may. The white couple may only have to submit 2 months worth of pay stubs,
Mm-hmm.
2 months worth of bank statements. But they want 6 months. 6 months worth. Oh, how long have you been on your job? Oh, you just got hired. Well, oh, I'm sorry, you haven't been working long enough.
Right.
You don't qualify. So now that's one thing about redlining. What's also evil about redlining is even if you do get get a property in their neighborhood, when you get ready to sell it, the fact that that property is owned by black people, they're not willing to give you the amount of money for it that they would give for that property if it was owned by a white person. Some black people, so like I don't want for being long-winded, and I'm finna end it right now though.
No sweat, man. No sweat. Go on. Go ahead.
Come concert, the water, sir. I have seen um documentaries, or I've seen instances where there have been a black couple with a nice house and they got ready to sell their property, and they were getting it appraised because you got to get it appraised before you put it on the market. So
Right.
this black couple was friends with a white person, so they got the white person to be there when the person came out to appraise it, so that when the
Mm-hmm.
person came out to appraise it, that person would think that the house was owned by a
White
white
person.
person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did it 2 times. They did it once themselves, Then they did it a second time, making them think that the property was owned by a white person. And the appraisal came back more when the person that was doing the appraisal believed that the property was owned by a white person.
White person.
So they get out of one, they get the red lining on both ends, on the back and the front. I yield, sir.
I remember Captain Masha did a program about that. It was a black woman, I think she was a lawyer or something, and married to a white man. The white man was a painter. All right. In her house now, she have all these things about her blackness, things that remind her about, them black coats, black icons, them black historical icon, Harriet Tubman, blah blah blah.
Culture, black
Right.
culture.
So once you come in the house, you can, the things hanging on the wall which give you a look and feel of blackness.
Right.
So she did two appraisals. One with all of her black identity things up, and one she removed all the black identity, like her family pictures, and she would put up her husband's side of the family pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And surely, when they did the appraisal, when they think that, some white people own in the house, the house did value more. They get a higher value on the house.
Higher value on the house.
Yeah, when they think it's owned by white.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when what Charlie Kirk always talk about, he would have to be in black skin to understand what blacks go through.
That's right.
Yeah, he's talking from his point of view, as to say, um, whites are going through what they are going through because of blacks.
Mm.
But I would like him to answer, but he can't answer no. But how would he explain financing over 700 military bases?
Salaki, I don't want. Can you say that part again, Baba Kasha, please?
How would he explain his government financing over 700 military bases? That must be a drain on the economy of the country.
Mm.
How would he explain the country's debt reaching over $35 trillion? Which means even at the present debt the debt servicing rate of America now is about $1 trillion per annum. So even at the present debt servicing rate, it's going to take them more than 35 years to repay that $35 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more than 35, I think it's something like 37.
Mm.
So what did blacks have to do with that?
Right.
So the pressure that the whites are feeling is not from the blacks. It's caused by their very own people's mismanagement. You repaying $35 trillion in debt. I mean, if you had put aside $1 trillion to spend on the black people, it would have come back to them tenfold, 100-fold. Because the blacks in America would be spending their money where? In America. Few blacks is going to go online and buy from them Chinese company, them Shein and whatever they want to name. Few. But the majority of black Americans spend their money within America. There is basically zero remittance from black Americans leaving America to any country. So if they had sense, they would be investing their money on the black Americans there. The money would stay in the country. But no, they invested in 700 odd military bases across the world, projecting power, expensive power at that too, right? And borrowing money to finance wars that they didn't even want blacks fighting in those wars. Many of them in war. So, I mean, what is he talking about? Blacks should you know, control them, basically check themselves. You know, the white man is the one who needs to control himself, control his spending. The country's spending. The country's spending is in his hands, right? So I don't wish death on anybody, but you need we need another review of the facts. Where is the money going? The money not going into black people's pocket. And to show you how stupid they be, when he died, demonstrating about white man fight back, white man fight. Remember the first person that all as a suspect was still a white man until they found the true killer.
Right.
Still a white man. And they're threatening black HBCUs.
Right.
So that shows that what? It's another repeat of the 1800s when they were during the Reconstruction period. So it is like Reconstruction revisited now, except that they can't just jump into killing people from these white towns, from these black towns again, because it's way different this time. The blacks are not living out there in the woods. The blacks are right there in the city by the thousands, if not millions. So you send some whites to invade a hood in one of those black ghettos. It ain't gonna be pretty. As terrible as those eras be. So it's not the same. So they are trying to use intellects, but there's still a lot of black intellects. Right? It's way different this time. But their narratives, what blacks should do is ignore them on their narrative and get on with their life. Yeah. Arm yourself, protect yourself, get on with your life. When you stand and argue with them, then they know what is in your mind. Keep them guessing, man. Just like we in the UPK here, just keep them guessing.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah, they don't know what we. The only thing they can tell is that we preach the Bible, which is what we do. We don't preach. We don't advocate violence. We don't speak about vengeance, because what we speak of is what Christ said: vengeance is mine. Right? But a man like Charlie Kirk now, pretty soon, you're going to have more. Listen, don't be surprised. They're gearing up for something, Those troops in the cities, removing those black historical icons, all the movement, and they're gearing up for something. And guess what? The Most High is going to reveal to us here in the UPK exactly what it is. What we do know. Come on, in general, and I told us about it already. What we do know is that there is some planning for a race war. The Chinese are doing way better in America than the blacks. So how comes the blacks are their problem? every race in America doing way better. Black money goes back to them other races.
That's right.
In the hood, when the sisters doing their hair and nail and fixing up themselves, who own those nail salons now and them ear salons? Not the blacks again.
La.
Yeah. So what is he talking about? When blacks had their own neighborhood and inventions, and they don't mention it, but I believe one of the reasons for them wiping out the black coming in towns and cities, all them black inventions were in these black towns and black cities. Yeah, they want ice cream. Where do you think they have to go? Go to a black town, right?
Right.
Because who invented that ice cream?
The black man.
Right. I'm gonna play that one right now too. So for ice cream, they have to go. They most likely would have to go to a black town, and even if you go to a white town, that white town would have to buy it from one of those black towns which the black man was in that did the invention. There was ice cream, there's always been ice cream, but ice cream used to be a rich people thing. All right, let's hear what this one says.
This is why you need to know Augustus Jackson, the man who turned ice cream into a universal delight. Born in 1808, Jackson started young, cooking for US presidents at just 9 years old. But his real magic began when he left the White House for Philadelphia. Here, he revolutionized ice cream.
Right, so you see where I'm left and go, Philly. Where would he go? Certainly not in the white neighborhoods, but in the black towns.
By creating the eggless recipe we still use today. Before Jackson, ice cream was a luxury for the rich. His ingenious use of salt lowered the freezing point, making it easier to produce and more affordable. He sold his creations in metal tins to local black-owned parlors, democratizing dessert. Jackson's legacy isn't just in the flavors, but in the joy and accessibility of ice cream itself. His passion for bringing people together over a shared love for ice cream has made it more than a treat. So next time you enjoy a scoop, remember Augustus Jackson, the man who made every lick possible. Stay cool, history buffs.
So, when they wanted ice cream, they have to go into the black towns. That was a problem for them. Can you just imagine? Right?
Right.
The next one, we're going to jump into the red lining. We had said we wanted to do the red lining.
Can you imagine at a wine what what they said to themselves? They must have said to themselves, "We got to get our hands on this formula. We got to get our hands on this recipe."
Man, this can make us rich. Yeah, just like trading. I mean, Wall Street, that we know now, that's where they used to trade slaves, I understand that underneath Wall Street is some ugly story about trading and slave trading. All right.
Picture this. In the 1930s, government agents took maps of American cities and drew red lines around black neighborhoods. They called them hazardous for investment. Didn't have a job or perfect credit. If you lived inside those red lines, banks slammed their doors shut. No loans, no mortgages, no future. Meanwhile, white families on the right side of the map, they built wealth, sent kids to college, passed down generational money.
Black families? Locked out completely. Even when redlining was banned in 1968, the damage was done. Today, right now, 74% of those neighborhoods marked hazardous in the 1930s are still struggling with poverty. White homeownership, 74%. Black homeownership, 46%. The average black family has just $23 for every $100 of white family wealth. We're still living inside those red lines drawn 90 years ago. Next time you drive through your city, ask yourself, whose lines are we still following? Drop a comment if this shocked you and follow for more history that still shapes our world today.
Right, that's redlining. Right? So this man no longer with us, but he didn't have a clue what he was talking about. What he was trying to do was to get his people to stop being so empathetic to blacks and get back on their wicked trail. Because if you remember from Genesis, that's their blessing, you know.
Right.
Yeah. From Esau and Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their blessing. All right, we're going to jump into some more scriptures before we go. Time is up on us. Isaiah 51.
Okay. I can read it for you, Adawan.
Appreciate it.
Okay, sir.
Isaiah 51, starting from verse 1 to 3. We're going to put it. Are you using a phone or a computer?
Isaiah chapter Salaki. Okay. The book of Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 1. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness.
Right. He that follow after righteousness. So you see who the Most High is speaking to? He's not speaking to the entire Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the entire Israel if they are following after righteousness.
Right.
Which is why you hear us say, you know, we have to, as black people, we have to just ignore the noise. Because what Charlie Kirk was is just the noise. We have to learn to ignore the noise. But
distraction.
Yeah, they are distraction, but we hearing the truth, we have to speak on it because our people is listening to it. For the Most High say, no, you that follow after righteousness. That's what we go after hearing the truth. Continue.
Come on. Ye that seek the Lord.
Right. Ye that seek Yahweh. That's what we do. Continue.
Come on, sir. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn.
Go on.
And to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged.
Right. So that's where we came from. The rock that we were hewn from, that's the rock, that's the Most High. Which is why we are what? Sons of the power. Sons of the Most High. Verse 2.
Come on, sir. Verse 2. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you.
Right. So back then we also say the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So now go back. The same God that Abraham your father used to serve, that's the God you should serve. Go on.
Come on, sir. For I called him alone, and blessed him and increased him.
Right. Verse 3.
Come on, sir. For the Lord shall comfort Zion.
Most High shall comfort those of us who come from Zion. Zion is the place really, you know. That's where they're fighting on over now. Go on.
Come on, sir. He will comfort all her waste places.
Right. So that's he will comfort All the way. Notice what is happening down there now. Pure what? Just what? Of course, the place needs to be comforted. And the people that belong to there, that's we in captivity, we need to be comforted too. Go on.
That's right. Come, sir. And he will make her wilderness like Eden.
Bring back the Garden of Eden. Just follow God. And you shall get back that place just like the Garden of Eden. So all the desert and thing that is down there, he will make them grow again.
Yeah.
Continue.
Come, sir. And her desert like the garden of the Lord.
Right, go on.
Joy and gladness shall be found therein.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving and the voice of melody.
Right. Going back to those high holiday celebration. Man, can you imagine Passover in that land again?
Wow.
It's gonna be glorious. All right, drop down to verse 10 and 11.
Come, sir. Verse 10. Art thou not it which hath dried the sea,
Mm-hmm.
the waters of the great deep,
Mm-hmm.
that hath made the depth of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over?
Right, so down here now he's reminding his people that I was the one who dried that sea so that you could pass over in the time of Moses.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's reminding them. Am I not the same one? Go on.
Right. Come, sir. Verse 11. Therefore, the redeemed of the Lord shall return.
Right. I am the same one who ransomed you from Egypt. So, I'm telling you, when you are redeemed from where you are scattered around the world, you shall return. Go on.
Come, sir. And come with singing unto Zion.
Just imagine. Babylon is falling. Some
Right.
glorious singing, man. Reggae, hip hop, calypso. The songs that we call it the Spanish music. More, what do you call it again? More, no ring, I forgot the name. Various singings, man. And all singing of joy back into that land. Read that.
Come. And everlasting joy shall be upon their head.
Exactly. Now that joy when we return will not be diminished. So, we want to follow the Christians and believe that they're going into up there to live, up in the sky. That same piece of land that is them fighting over, that is where the heaven is going to be. And it's a heaven for the people who belong to that piece of land. Right? And it's going to be everlasting. Continue.
Come, sir. They shall obtain gladness and joy.
Right. We shall, that's what we're going to inherit. Gladness and joy. Continue.
Come. And sorrow and mourning shall flee away.
Right. So we will not know sorrow and we will not know what it is to mourn again, because we will be experiencing. Just think of you ever go to a good party?
Go to where? Go where, Adawan?
A good party.
Come.
Yeah, man. And when they finish, you're like, man, it finished already. Even though the party lasted half the night. Can't believe it finished already. Well, Think of being in a state of joy that never ends. That's why it is called the kingdom of heaven. Right? Drop down to verse 20. 21, 20, 21, 20 to 22.
Okay, concert. Verse 20. Thy sons have fainted.
Mm-hmm.
They lie at the head of all the streets.
Right. This is where our people are to be found today. Right on the street corner. Yep.
Right.
You never see a race of people who on the street corners like us. Why? Because we are fainted. Man, oppression get to them that they just hang out on the street. Why do you think they're hanging out on the street? Looking for something.
That's
Wow.
like it. That's
Yeah.
and it's like I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we say too. You be like, "What's up, man? Oh man, I'm looking for something to get into." You know.
Yeah. And though many of us of our young men, they get into trouble, but that's it. That's what the scripture said. They are fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. Right on the street corner. Every community, you find that among blacks, Hispanics, and natives. This is how destroy we are as a people. Where we used to hang out when things was for us, we'll be in our fields, be at our places that we earn, working, but all those have been destroyed. On the time of the Reconstruction, slavery, and all that, all those abilities destroyed. Continue.
Come as a wild bull in a net.
Right. As a wild bull in a net. Wild bull in a net. What the net do? The net capture him. He's what? He's a captive now.
Yeah.
Read on.
It sound like the police at one.
Yeah, but we are the bull. Police would be the net.
And the ice patrol.
As a matter of fact, what I call them those group of men who did in the January 6th insurrection there.
The Proud Boys.
Proud Boys and them, man. All of them gone in the ice, Yeah, man. They all get job in ice. Pretty soon ice is gonna become some other name now and they gonna fight war.
Oh.
Yeah, them very own white men always trick them with them. They don't know that. That is what they don't know. Yeah, man. All right, read on.
Come concert. They are full of the fury of the Lord.
Yes, go on.
The rebuke of thy God.
Right. That is why we are in the situation we are. The rebuke of God is upon us because we had gone to break his laws and gone. We have strayed away from the path. That's why it says we should look unto Abraham our father. Read on.
Come. Verse 22. Thus
21,
said the
21.
Oh, Salaki Adawan. Verse 21. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine.
Yes, we are afflicted and we are drunken, and it's not wine drunken. That's why the other is like, we can't understand black man, Black man fool is it? Or they stay so. Yeah. Move like drunken people, but it's not drink with drink. Even when we know our big jobs, we don't realize how drunken we are. Read on.
Come, sir. Thus, verse 22. Thus saith thy Lord, thy Lord, the Lord.
Go on.
And thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people.
Right. So thus saith Yahweh, that God, our God that pleaded our cause. Go on.
Come, sir. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling.
Yes, that same thing that has caused us to be at the head of the street, full of the fury of the Lord and the rebuke of God. He's going to take that cup of trembling out of our hands. Go on.
Come on, sir. Even the dregs of the cup of my fury.
Now, when you're drinking most time, not every man who is a drinker, have a little wine or so. There is that bottom part of the glass that you leave in it.
Oh,
We call it dregs. So any little thing that is in it, any heavy sediment, it settles to the bottom.
okay.
So the Most High is saying, we have drink his fury down to the dregs. Hold the cup and wring it out. We take even that part that you would normally throw away. Down to the dregs of the cup of his fury we have taken. Continue.
Come. Thou shalt no more drink it again.
But we won't be drinking it again. Why we won't be drinking it again? Read on.
Verse 23. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
I will put it in the hands of them that afflict thee, and that is what we're seeing. That's why when have you ever heard of white killing white in this manner? I mean, they have assassinated presidents, yes. Was not the same thing. Right? This one was clearly one that was on the part of what they would want to call their civil rights leader.
Right.
So this is the Most High turning things now. Read on.
Come on, sir. Oh, Adawan, that's heavy, right? Because he had a show called The Turning Point. And maybe the Lord is saying this is a turning point where he's gonna begin to take the cup out of our hand and turning point and put it into and put that cup in their hand and make them drink.
Yes, sir. And it's just the beginning. And they don't like it. They don't like the taste of it. You see how riled up they are? They are just getting the smell of it. And they can't take it. We have been drinking it for years. We drink down to the dregs.
Yes.
Read on.
Come on, sir. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go. Salakia.
Yes, continue.
Come on, sir. Which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over.
Bow down that we may go over. And I'm going to play a video right about now that so describes this beast telling us to bow down that we may go over. All right?
First, this is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything. What is left? We invented everything. And now it's AI.
So you see, they're coming back to tell us to bow down that we may go over. But this time they want to go over to where? AI. Right? He said, bow down that we may go over. And all them inventions that he named were black inventions.
Right.
Who benefited? They benefited. And they have gotten rich off our inventions. And the world have gotten rich off our inventions.
Yes.
Because they have bowed our souls down to the ground. And they want to do it again. Read on.
Come on, sir. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground.
We have become the ground for them. Walk on us. Yeah. Read on.
Come. And as the street to them
Mhm.
that went over.
Right. We have become the ground and the street to them that went over. But this time the Moses is saying, you are going to take this cup of this fury. You are going to drink it. Not my people. Right. So, you know, that's basically what we have time for this evening. We have questions coming before we run, before we sign out. Officer Allah.
Salaki Adawan. You went out. Say, can you repeat that, sir?
No, I say if you have any questions, comments before we go out, before we bow out.
Oh, la, sir.
All right. So, you know.
Oh, one more thing, Adawan, if I could. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, when we read bow down that we may go over.
Yeah.
I remember when once upon a time when it reminds me of when what white people didn't want you to look them in their eye. They wanted you to bow your head down. And I think also if they was walking down the street on the sidewalk, you had to cross over. You had to cross over to the other side of the street until they pass by.
Yeah, I couldn't laugh in their presence either.
Common concept.
The downtown and you laugh too loud, I'm gonna push you in the laughing barrel.
Common.
Yeah. And yet still you're gonna blame blacks for what they are in when it's them that put them. They are the ones who put us in this situation.
Yeah, that's
we are only here today because of resilience.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High who have strengthened us. That's the only reason why so much of us remain here. And because we breathe enough. So till they start to push family planning on us. That's just it. Right? We just fight back. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Resilience.
Right. So with that, until another week in the conflict zone, we're looking at we looked at the conflict this week. Maybe next week we still going to hear more about Charlie Kirk. Who knows? All right, Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashem. Yahweh Shabbat Rakatah.